And welcome to Newsmax Now. I'm your host, Bill Tucker. Co-hosting with me tonight, you know who he is, Tom Borelli, PhD contributor. He is a Conservative Review contributor. He is conservativereview.com, a conservative activist, and he'll be with me tonight. We have a lot of things to talk about tonight because the GOP appears to be in complete disarray. Senator Jeff Flake will not seek re-election next year in a surprise move. The senator from Arizona announced his pending retirement on the floor of the Senate just hours ago. His speech echoed the sentiments of Bob Corker as he said it is time to abandon any hope that President Trump will behave or govern with civility. And this came only hours after Corker accused Trump of debasing America and expressed regrets at ever having supported Trump. The attack at the Republicans is being fully engaged by Republicans. Amanda Head and John Batchelor will be joining Tom and me for some perspective on the GOP and asking the question whether it's in transition or in total collapse and what its impact on possibly tax reform might be. Flake announcing his retirement or his intention to retire at the end of next year on the floor of the Senate. What's happening to the Republican Party?
Well, as we know, the speed of light is a constant, but yet the speed of political change is changing, is accelerating, like unbelievable. But really what's happening is both Corker and Senator Flake realized they weren't going to win. They were going to lose in the Senate primary race. So then they decided to fold their deck. And then, unfortunately, as they're leaving the stage, they start to criticize President Trump. And now, no doubt, they're the hero of the left-wing media. Corker has already been on ABC, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, all of them,
well,
where they all can, so now they all can gather together and just really, criticize President Trump. But again, they were going to lose anyway. This is a movement. These elected officials were out of touch with the country, with the America First agenda, and most importantly, they were out of touch with their own constituents. That's why they decided not to run again.
Well, they were really damning. Both of them have been very damning in their comments. Both of them saying this is a GOP that has changed too much. Both of them saying, in essence, the same thing in terms of Trump and his supporters debasing America. I don't know what that means. I
don't think it's good.
No, it's definitely not good, but I don't know what it means. I don't understand what they mean by him debasing America. I understand the comments about his civility because this is a guy who I do have problems with, and I don't like the way his style of governance. I understand that, but they are taking sharp, hard shots, and they're going to be around for another year and 3 months.
Yeah, my concern is I hope they don't take their personal frustration and their temper tantrum to vote against the tax bill. That would be a pure personal vendetta and not representing the views of the constituents or certainly country. I think all Americans want a tax cut. I hope these elected officials' tantrum doesn't carry that far or that low.
Well, it's weird, but just to add a weird twist, and we get into this a little bit later when I do want to talk about tax reform with Amanda and John, is this Jeff Flake is like the original Tea Partier, if you will. In fact, the headline on Hill acknowledges as such. He was the Tea Partier before being a Tea Partier was even cool, and he didn't care. This is a guy who wrote a book echoing Barry Goldwater's book on conservative principles.
Yeah, but actually, he used to be a really good conservative, and he started to evolve to be more of a liberal elected official. Our organization, Conservative Review, rates congressmen and senators based on their way they vote conservative. And he has a failing grade. He has an F. He votes only conservative about less than 50% of the time, around 50% of the time. When he was in the House, he used to be a rock-solid conservative.
Right.
Then the swamp started to get a little old when he went to the Senate.
the danger of the Senate.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was elected in 2013.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a one-term senator. He's a multi-term representative.
Right.
But that's interesting. So the Conservative Review rates him an F.
Yeah, he has an F, as does Corker.
Really?
So no shock here.
Wow,
so this is actually, it's morning in America.
Well, it's really interesting because I went on the Breitbart website. Right. Yes, I do read Breitbart, along with a handful of other websites. And I didn't even read their story. I went to the comments. The comments could be summed up best by, why don't you get out now, immediately? If you don't like it, if you don't like what you see, do us all a favor and get out now. I mean, there are no tears being shed on conservative websites.
Well, that's actually a good point. If you're not going to support the president, most important, not support your constituents. Flake's approval ratings within his own state were really low, and clearly Corker's was as well. So that's why they decided not to run. If they can't support the agenda, can't support the American people, they should really exit on top, like former and running back Jim Brown, right? Retire on top.
Retire on top. Well, that's hard to do.
No debasing.
Well, we are going to pick this conversation back up because we got a lot to talk about here.